Madison is here to discuss Cody Ko, his social media career.
You ready to cringe?
Yeah.
His controversy.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
His return to social media.
Obviously, I understand I've been offline for months.
And how he tried to wipe his past away through starting an oatmeal company. Let's talk about it. If you have a suggestion that you'd like to see on this channel, go to the subreddit r/exploitation exposed. I've really enjoyed seeing all the video suggestions on there, and I have a list of video topics that I want to cover this month just based on the posts and comments that I've seen. And I'm looking forward to the positive community we can build there. So after Cody Ko's massive downfall, out of the blue, he quietly soft-launched an oatmeal company. But the thing is, Cody Ko's oatmeal company is weird and bad in its own way. So let's talk about that. In a video, Cody Ko tried to comedically announce his oatmeal company.
The Ko's oats have been consumed. It's funny that the whole joke on here for the last 2 months was foods that are people's first names. And I go and name something after my last name.
I think an oatmeal company does play into Cody Ko's most parasocial, most dedicated following. Is because while an oatmeal company makes no sense to the general public, people who are viewing this on the surface, for those who are dedicated Cody Ko followers or who are longtime viewers and are aware of Cody Ko's fitness channel, they know that Cody Ko used to all the time make oatmeal on his fitness channel, especially after a workout. And he would call these oats bad oats.
Cody's bad oats.
The branding of the oatmeal is very weird, simply because when you go on the website, he's very much trying to go for this family-friendly, old school, cartoonish, colorful and nostalgic sort of brand. Very reminiscent of 60s pancake boxes. And there's only 3 flavors: pancakes and syrup, blueberry muffin, and salted chocolate chip cookie. Not very innovative. Why in the absolute hell did I make oatmeal? As I was training for Ironman Australia in 2023, I realized something. I've been eating the same 3 flavors of oatmeal for breakfast since I was a child. Okay, so that means they already exist and it's not very innovative.
Here you go, Mom.
Thank you for the flower. Aw, I'll put it in my hair. So I decided it was time for somebody to spice things up a bit, and Ko's Oats was born. But it is those same 3 flavors. What do you mean? Whether you're hitting a workout, prepping for an early meeting, or running to class, please enjoy these elevated takes on traditional oatmeal flavors to start your day on the right foot. Sorry, old oatmeal mascots. It's so hard to read this text. We're making mornings exciting again. I don't get it, because you're saying you're like switching things up, yet you're making the same 3 flavors. That doesn't make much sense, but let's see what the prices are. To buy the bundle is $26.97, $30, and each individual flavor is $8.99. More with shipping and tax. Even though I did not want to support Cody's company at all, I was tempted to place an order and compare it to other oatmeal companies on the market for educational purposes. And I'm so glad I didn't even try to do that, because as I was researching for this video, I ended up seeing so many online posts about people never receiving their orders after placing it, or the orders being extremely delayed or never getting shipped. Just got my Ko's Oats. Wow, you got yours so fast. When did you order them? I'm still waiting for mine. Did you get your oats yet? I still haven't. I ordered mine about 10 days ago, and I'm just hoping it doesn't get lost in the mail, since I never got a tracking number. I did get a confirmation email though. I haven't even gotten a review email. Maybe he had more orders than anticipated? $16 for how much of oats? 1 pack is 12 ounces. There's been very few reviews on Cody Ko's Oats, probably because very few people are actually getting the package, besides this Reddit post. Thoughts on Ko's Oats? I got 2 of the flavors. They finally came in. Thankfully, I wasn't part of the batch that got lost during shipping. I got to try both of them, and they're pretty good. 1 serving fills me up pretty well, and quick to make, so I've been actually eating before work. The blueberry muffin one I find to be superior. It has actual blueberries in it and overall tastes better. The salted chocolate chip cookie honestly is a bit disappointing, as the flavor is really just straight up chocolate. No salted or cookie flavor whatsoever, but it's still not bad. Looking forward to see if they get new flavors. For $15, I want my mind to be blown. I want it to be the best oatmeal I've ever had in my life. From this review, it sounds like they're a Cody Ko fan. Honestly, it sounds like they were a little bit underwhelmed. That's just my opinion. It seems like Cody is trying to do the Emma Chamberlain effect, which is interesting because when Emma Chamberlain was underage, Cody Ko had her on his podcasts all the time. Him and his partner befriended her, brought her on their show, hung out with her all the time when the two of them were adults. In my opinion, it seems that they've seen the great success of Chamberlain coffee, the cutesy branding of it, and are trying to create this cutesy branding of an oatmeal company. But the fact that Cody Ko is the face of it and is greatly known for sexual allegations doesn't work. The fact that the cost isn't even remotely reasonable, with one 12-ounce oatmeal costing $15, $16, and they're having shipping delays right out the gate. I don't see how this would be reasonable. It seems like they're trying to angle it to where it would be the type of product that you would see in Whole Foods. And all I can say to that is that would really prove that some people can just get away with anything. It seems like they're trying to package the brand as being a healthier alternative to other oatmeal brands. The colorfulness of it also makes it seem like they're trying to pitch it as a family-friendly alternative to other oatmeals, so that when you see it on a shelf, parents reach for it to give it to their children. Again, the fact that Cody Ko has been accused of sleeping with an underage person makes that a little bit weird. Also, one thing of oatmeal, there's 150 calories, but there's 8 servings per one container. And there's 13 grams of sugar per serving. So you gotta times that by 8. And that's on the blueberry one. The person who's reviewing said that the chocolate chip one was too sweet. Interestingly, that one has less sugar. It only has 8 grams of sugar. Again, times 8. What's 8 times 8? Isn't that 64 grams of sugar? To try and market that as if it's some sort of healthier alternative oatmeal? No. But that's just the thing. It seems like the entire business is a weird sham, a money grab opportunity, especially when you look at the nutrition contents and realize that the actual product is not that special compared to what's already out there. Even the flavors themselves are extremely basic. But when you look at the career of Cody Ko, you realize that he's kind of a hypocrite in every way, and all he's ever really wanted for himself is fame and money. Let's talk about it. I have a few theories, especially when it comes to how Cody Ko has impacted teen culture. My first theory is Cody Ko's impact on the nonchalance epidemic that we're seeing nowadays with young teens. So topic 1 is how Cody Ko's That's Cringe series has impacted the nonchalance epidemic. Now, before Cody Ko's major, practically career-ending controversy, at least it should have been career-ending, but leave it to a charismatic white guy to find a forgiving audience, Cody Ko was considered a widely unproblematic content creator. But over the past few days, as I reflected on the prospect of making this video, I've been reflecting on Cody's early social media career and how it may have greatly impacted a lot of the young teens today, and the ways in which they interact on social media, particularly in relation to the nonchalance epidemic. If you don't know what the nonchalance epidemic is, essentially many people have noted that there's been a large amount of particularly young teens who've been overly concerned with appearing like they have no care or come across as apathetic. Something I think is interesting is in tandem with this effect is Cody Ko's most viral popular series, That's Cringe, where he reacted to cringy online videos of people doing things that were supposedly very embarrassing things for them to be doing in public or posting videos of themselves doing.
And I actually kicked Kristen out today.
These were sometimes mundane things, like a cringy, everyday morning routine.
His alarm said rise and grind.
Or teenagers who were trying to act cool with other teenagers.
It's 50 Nick.
His Nick level's over 9,000!
The thing is, we all go through different phases in life trying to be cool, trying on different hats to see what feels best. I feel like I'm still doing that, changing my hairstyle constantly, hoping one day I stumble upon a hairstyle I like and it just sticks. And everyone should have a certain level of freedom to be weird or quirky, to go through different phases, even if some of those phases are cringy, until they find something that fits with them. That's an essential part of finding your identity. But with social media, that's more impossible than ever before. Teenagers nowadays are very aware that what they post online will stay with them forever, so they can't necessarily try things that are weird or out of the box. Not only because that will stay with you, but also comments can be brutal. You'll get put in your place really quickly for doing something that might be perceived as cringy. Cody Ko was one of the first people to widely call out people for being cringy online, and he gained a platform off of doing so. And now that's completely normalized, where it's perceived as totally okay to tell a complete stranger, whether or not they're being cringy. And this has, in my opinion, become one of the reasons for the teen nonchalance epidemic, where many teenagers appear overly apathetic and nonchalant. It's easier to just look like you don't care than be ridiculed, all for appearing like a tryhard. But the thing is, many artists, many YouTubers, many creators, movie stars, singers, scientists, writers, people who have gone out and done something new in any career field you may want to enter. They all accomplished that because they entered that space and did something very cringy, very new and different. They had to first start being cringy at something before they could be good at it.
I think the fear of being cringy and being embarrassed is one of the biggest roadblocks to creating art, or at very least sharing art. There was a big phrase of like try hard. People would be like, oh, you fucking try hard, or like, lame. That was massive. They would use that to tear you down. And if anyone tried to be like good at anything, immediately it was uncool. You weren't allowed to like stand out, you know?
There's an incredible article titled Cringe Theory, going into the nature of how cringe theory interacts with disabled people. Over the last 2 decades, cringe has become a popular representational model for narrating disability in television and film. Characters on TV shows, such as Andy Dwyer in Parks and Recreation, Tracy Jordan in 30 Rock, and Josh in Please Like Me, alongside characters in movies like Andy Stitzer in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and much of the cast of Champions comes to mind. These texts narrate disability through what Julia Havis and Maria Salima call cringe aesthetics. Beyond an embodied experience, cringe can also be recognized as a mode of expression, bridging the tensions between drama and comedy. To express or represent disability through cringe is to present in such a way that demands the viewer's discomfort. A cringe aesthetic forces an effective response to disability's entrance into public imagination, one that acknowledges our existence without ceding the value of established social norms. Disabled people can be present, but a cringe aesthetics ensures that our presence will be read as decidedly cringeworthy, thereby securing the norms that dictate not only how people behave, but also how they feel.
Virgin shaming. Look at this fucking idiot. Never had sex. What an idiot. What a moron, dude. It's so easy.
You may be thirsty for some Skippy. Got Skippy? Huh?
Oh, I'm cringing too hard. Oh.
Even when Cody Ko is reacting to able-bodied individuals, looking back on the ways in which he's reacting to their behaviors, it feels almost like a way of policing anything that's not considered normal ways of behaving. Of course, not all of Cody's content should be perceived in this way or critiqued in this way. I had a conversation with someone I know who used to watch Cody's content before his controversy, and the reverse side of this is that especially for young men who are often told not to feel their emotions. Cody Ko's often self-deprecating humor, like calling himself the tiny meat gang, could have normalized and made it okay for young men to laugh at themselves as well. Instead of feeling the need to have this tough exterior, you could possibly be a viewer who watched it and saw Cody making fun of himself and thought, it's okay to make fun of myself sometimes. Or you could have watched his content, saw Cody Ko cringing, internalized that, and thought, I don't want anyone to ever cringe at me. I need to act accordingly to make sure that doesn't happen. Because when Cody Ko made fun of teenagers who were trying to fit in high school,
Maddie just takes a moment there to just kind of make sure he's good. Just like a quick...
Maddie fucking smug.
or two people who are in love and maybe showing it in ways that are socially perceived as over the top.
I knew that I would meet my soulmate at Whole Foods.
That could easily extend to neurodivergent people who may not be able to discern the difference socially. Also, imagine how young people might feel watching these videos of Cody Ko, making fun of people posting videos of their lives, and getting millions and millions of views for it and being widely praised for it. Likely, they'd at least subconsciously internalize some of that and become nervous of how they're behaving socially and whether or not others would perceive them as being cringe. I'm not saying that Cody Ko is solely responsible for the nonchalance epidemic. That would be ridiculous. But I also think it's something that all creators should be mindful of, myself included. There are also so many likely reasons for apathy. The political and socio-economic state of the world likely being one of them. But I also think that major YouTubers and influencers can have a great impact on younger generations and the ways they express themselves. And Cody Ko's That's Cringe series was massive up until a few years ago. Or what, just a year ago? That attitude could likely permeate into young teens. And I don't think that topic's really been addressed, so I really wanted to address it in this video. I'd love to know your thoughts on that in the comments, since it's really just a theory on my part. Have you ever been influenced into being afraid of being cringy? My second theory is Cody Ko always wanted to be rich and famous, even though he's also ridiculed other people for wanting the same things as well. So let's talk about Cody Ko's social media career. In a podcast interview, Cody Ko talks about how growing up, his parents were extremely ambitious and extremely successful. His mom sold a software business, and his dad also sold a software business. They both also ran marathons, which likely inspired Cody to also run marathons as well. Cody Ko's dad also broke the world record for longest distance traveled by human power. His mom and dad did Ironmans and now do ultra marathons.
My mom sold a software business when she was young. It was a printing business. My dad also sold a software business. And so they were both really entrepreneurial growing up. And then they both started doing triathlons. And then my dad broke the world record for the longest distance traveled in 24 hours by human power. And then my mom started doing Ironmans. My dad started doing Ironmans. Basically, they're like super athletes. Mm-hmm. They both do ultra marathons now. My dad runs 100-mile marathons. And so does my mom. My question is, what are they running from? Sorry, I don't know if this is too mean. I was gonna say every person I've met that runs that much is running from something. I'm so sorry if you love running. Also, runners are the chillest people I've ever met for the most part. So before Cody Ko went into the entertainment industry, he had a pretty successful career. His LinkedIn reads, Cody is an iOS engineer. While in college, he wrote I'd Cap That, an iPhone application that hit #1 on the free app charts in the United States. He also spent time working as a DJ for local establishments. So it sounds like Cody Ko was always into being a DJ as well. That's great. Go chase your dreams. All I'm gonna say is you're building a successful app and then also working as a part-time DJ. And you want to criticize other people for being cringy. Cody graduated from Duke University in May of 2012 with a BA in computer science and a certificate in markets and management. While at Duke, he was captain of the varsity swimming and diving team, where he helped foster a focused and productive team environment. He competed in the 2008 Olympic trials and qualified for the 2012 Olympic trials. And he said, you know where I need to go? I need to go to Hollywood to become a star. Screw engineering, screw Olympic team, Hollywood needs me next. After selling his platform, I'd Cap That and traveling in Asia for 8 months. According to Business Insider, to make money, him and his friend started a few side projects that pulled in ad revenue, including a service to send physical greeting cards and weather candy, which gave users the forecast along with a picture of a dog, hot girl, or hot guy, according to Cody Ko. These side hustles included sending gift cards to your friends that said F you.
Another business that we started, when you open it says F you in small letters.
But there's also a gift card? Or do you just mean just e-card?
Okay. Greeting card, yeah. And so we built this little business, and then we were getting customers every single day. People just sending cards to their friends and people across the world that just say F you.
Cody Ko then went back to the Bay Area, and as he was working as a mobile developer, he also made Vines. And that's where Cody Ko initially gained a platform. He gained almost 2 million followers before the platform closed in 2017. Cody moved to LA with a dream of making it big. He had followers and he thought, you know what? I can be an actor. Thank you. He got a manager and he was working for Fullscreen as a developer and also sometimes appearing in their projects. He appeared in the project Simi Valley Bros. I'll show it on screen.
What's up? I'm Wade, 23. Pretty much just kick it with my brother and his friends because everyone my age sucks, dude.
Some people say that Cody Ko is a good actor. Some people say no. It's up to you to decide. The skills of being a great YouTuber don't always translate to being a great actor. Cody Ko also met Noel Miller when working at Fullscreen. They both worked in tech, but also made Vines, and so it felt like worlds colliding, and they decided to start making reaction videos together, and that's where the That's Cringe series was born. Eventually, after they did the Jake Paul That's Cringe video, the Tiny Meat Gang was born, including Cody Ko and Noel Miller. By April of 2023, Cody Ko's 5 YouTube channels collectively had 9.37 million subscribers and 1.86 billion views. And even though Cody Ko knows a ton of different software languages, he will never go back to being a computer programmer. It seems that he really had his sights on being famous in some ways. He moved to LA, he got a manager. For a while, he was really focused on being an actor, and once he shifted, he never looked back. Did the fame change Cody, or was this always what he wanted? Or was his true dream to always be a DJ?
I was like, I forgot what all the knobs did because like I was just so nervous that, you know, I was like getting stage fright and I was like, what am I? Just forgot everything I had learned.
I mean, apparently Cody is now a resident DJ at the Wynn Las Vegas. Las Vegas, where all entertainers, now apparently even YouTubers, go to die. I'm sorry, I know that was way too harsh. But I mean, Cody never really pursued anything after I'd capped that in the world of tech and programming. And he seemed to be pretty enamored with the world of money and fame, even if he acted like he wasn't. For example, Cody Ko posted that one That's Cringe video, making fun of the kombucha billionaire.
My parents at a very early age in my life took me to India to see a holy man named Sai Baba.
And then I got bit by a spider and the kombucha billionaire looking to save the industry from itself. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That sounds dramatic.
Yeah.
Then Cody Ko spoke in a podcast and a ton of other interviews about this time that he drove to Elon Musk's house, was so excited to meet him, and met Elon Musk and Grimes.
You met Elon, right?
Yeah.
What was it? You went to
his house.
You went to his house?
I partied with him one time.
He also seemed equally just as excited when he met the kombucha billionaire at his house.
I think we gotta sell kombucha. Fuck jokes.
Now, did you buy this cash?
Yeah.
Also, years later, Cody Ko himself invested in a kombucha company, probably hoping to become a kombucha billionaire himself. So do you think the kombucha billionaire is cringe, or do you want to be the kombucha billionaire? So was Cody Ko always just enamored with the money? Did he change at some point? Was this always just a facade? Knowing what we know now with the controversy with Tana Mongeau, you have to wonder where Cody Ko's moral code lies and how much that changes the perception of his content looking back now. Cody Ko allegedly purchased a $3.8 million Venice Beach compound, according to the Business of Business, which you can see in the background of his videos. While of course his content has made him Uber dollars, a huge portion of Cody's success has been the way he's strategically invested in other businesses, and also the way he's financially structured his content. So let's really dive into all of Cody Ko's other businesses that he started. And my third theory, which is why he started all of these businesses, the intentions behind them, and how he utilized his brand of I'm a chill, non-problematic guy to kind of manipulate his audience into buying into his brand and all of the things he was pitching to them. Cody Ko and Noel Miller started the Tiny Meat Gang, which was initially just like a word they used together. They would make music videos off of the Tiny Meat Gang. They started a podcast, just the two of them, from the Tiny Meat Gang. So it seemed the phrasing Tiny Meat Gang felt very innocuous at first. It was a way to sort of build a parasocial relationship with their audience and also how their audience knew them. In October of 2021, Cody Ko and Noel Miller started the Tiny Meat Gang Studios, a comedy podcast network. They also got represented by United Talent Agency. Alex Earl is also represented by United Talent Agency. A ton of extremely famous influencers that you know today are represented by United Talent Agency. I also want to say something that's really interesting is a lot of influencers that get represented by United Talent Agency end up doing podcasts. The TMG podcast allegedly made over $103,164 on Patreon a month, though of course monthly memberships likely fluctuate. Their October 22 episode featuring Mr. Beast became one of their most popular and viewed episodes. Then in 2024, because it's a podcast network, TMG started bringing other podcasts under their umbrella, like the podcast Emergency Intercom. Now, of course, I don't know exactly what the ins and outs of this deal is. What I would assume is essentially they would tell these people, these other podcasts, that they would take over a lot of the technical roles, a lot of the promotional roles, a lot of the things like merchandise they would handle, and that a lot of the podcast host would just have to be the stars of the show. Cody Ko said about this network sort of system, "We reached a point where we decided to take what we learned from our show and invest it in other shows. Developing original podcasts is more of a risk than partnering with established podcasts," he says, because it requires a bigger upfront investment. But the TMG Studios team sees more upside in creating their own intellectual property. On the TMG website, it says that the current shows are TMG, obviously, Brooke and Connor, The Zach and Waleed Show, Company Lot, Stretch and Fade, Insanely Chill, which was Cody's show, I think, 8 Ball Special. It looks like Emergency Intercom is no longer a part of the TMG podcast network. If you go onto the TMG podcast website, there's an entire page that you can publicly view to pitch selling sponsor slots on all these podcasts that they've acquired. That's the business of it. Obviously, I don't know the contracts that they've signed. My theory on why TMG is signing all of these podcasts is to get sponsor money. I'm personally theorizing that within the deal, it is written in that whatever sponsors these podcasts are getting, TMG gets a cut of that. And that's why they have an entire page on their website on how they sell stuff better than other people, I guess.
To thank the sponsor of today's episode, Starbucks, a McDonald's ad, Liquid Death, Kanzuri.
I just did an ad for Farmer's Dog on my personal Instagram. It's smart, healthy pet food.
It sounds like I just made another sale from today's sponsor. Sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, to help you avoid another silent night.
I feel like literally everyone has a hydro flask these days, and I totally get why.
And honestly, it's very professional. Here is why so many influencers switched to podcasting and why TMG did this. At least the way it's been explained to me, sponsorships within podcasts make significantly more money. First off, if you have a podcast, you can put multiple ad slots within it. You can also charge significantly more for those ad slots than a normal YouTube video, even if you're getting nowhere near the same amount of viewership. Also, the way that it's been sort of explained to me is that podcasts are seen as similar to traditional radio compared to YouTube, which is a whole new industry. So that is a huge reason why a lot of creators are coming out with podcast after podcast. There's nothing inherently wrong about that. I mean, it's more strategic. It's a smarter way of going about it. I just wanted to say that because I don't think it's really been explained by many people. Then you have something like the TMG podcast network, where they're not only starting a podcast, but they're also signing a bunch of other different podcasts underneath them and likely taking a percentage out of whatever sponsorships they get for those podcasts. On top of that, Cody Ko became an angel investor. Being an angel investor could have been a really great way to use the money that you've made off of being a YouTuber to strategically invest in things that could make a very positive impact in the world. So let's talk about some of Cody Ko's investments. It said that through angel investing on Cody Ko's Crunchbase profile, he's made 5 investments. and he's had 2 exits. The first company he invested in was Lolly, which raised $5 million in a seed round from Casey Neistat and 8 other investors, which he did eventually exit from. And what is Lolly? Lolly is a rewards app that allows users to earn Bitcoin when shopping online. He also invested in Juneshine, which raised an undisclosed amount, Series A, a step up from the seed round. He invested in Surf, which raised $2.2 million in a seed round that he also exited from. Surf provides brands a better way to engage and understand consumers while compensating consumers for their data. Paying people for their data. Interesting. I don't know if this is interesting to everyone, but it's interesting to me, so I'm just gonna keep reading. He invested in Medify, which raised $25 million, and he invested in a Series A. And he also invested in Agentio, which raised $4.2 million. Medify is an online coaching platform that enables video gamers to monetize their talent through coaching and courses. Selling video game coaching courses.
Put a link to somewhere, and if you click it, it'll take you to my website.
Okay, so I guess he's like this guy's like a life coach, I guess, right? He sells his fucking steps to success or whatever. And then you're fucking rich and famous like me, Ty Lopez, and you can fly to investor conferences with Instagram models for no reason and this one random dude in the back.
And Agentio is an advertising platform that connects marketers with creators to facilitate the buying and selling of sponsored content. Cody has said in an interview on the Business of Business about the companies that he's invested in that aren't listed on Crunchbase. I'm invested in a bunch of companies now, actually. One of them is Juneshine Hard Kombucha. It's the best drink on the market right now. I'm invested in Lolly and Juneshine. I'm invested in Stir, the creator payment system. And then I started an investment vehicle with my friend Devin Townsend, who is the co-founder of Cameo. His friend Devin Townsend, by the way, was a person he went backpacking in Asia with. So we've made some investments together. The investment vehicle is called Dumb Money Capital. We invested in Liquid Death, which I'm super excited about. That's the one where I just reached out to the founder one day because I was drinking it so much on the podcast and I was wearing the hat and I was like, I effing love this water. Can I invest?
Liquid Death. And can I just say, it's really fun to drink water from a can.
He just so happened to be raising money and they made some space for us. And then we invested in the Moment House, which is a live streaming platform that we're going to use probably to do ticketed live stream events for our podcast. Hold on, I don't know them all, but I have a spreadsheet. Let me see. We also invested in Autograph, which is the NFT platform that Tom Brady is involved in. What? Come again? This is the guy that made fun of influencers for doing that. He did videos about influencers doing crypto and NFTs.
Good morning, jam. Wog me, mutant serum, ape, doodle. We're all gonna doodle. We are all gonna board apes. We are NFTs, yeah, and crypto.
He made a video poking fun at the kombucha billionaire and then turned around and invested in a hard kombucha. I think for many people, when they invest their time into watching someone, what that person has to say, the main thing they care about is just authenticity. So to look behind the scenes at the way Cody moves financially, it becomes clear that Cody Ko is not an authentic person, in my opinion. And of course, the kicker of it all, the main thing that showcases his lack of authenticity is, of course, the controversy that came out. My only theory about this is that it only exposes what was always there, that Cody was never really who people thought he was. So let's talk about Cody's controversy. I discussed this controversy in detail on the deep dive I did on Tana Mojo on my main channel, but essentially when influencer Tana Mojo was underage, 17, and Cody Ko was 25 years old, they began collaborating.
I mean, what else significant is there to say about you?
No, yeah.
Besides the fact that you've collabed with me?
No, yeah.
Nothing, right?
No.
It's never good.
That's the peak of my career.
And for some reason, the internet thought this is a normal thing. Nothing weird about this. While Tana Mojo was doing frequent collaborations with a variety of different YouTubers, something I noted in my deep dive was she was a child. And that shouldn't be a thing, especially some of the things that these adults said to her. Cody Ko is not alone in that. So Cody Ko collaborated with Tana Mojo on a YouTube video when she was 17 years old.
This is Tana Mojo, and I'm here with Tana. Not gonna laugh at my jokes this time.
Dislike this video.
They attended Playlist Live together in Florida and then collaborated again when she was 18. Years later, Tana Mongeau has the successful canceled podcast. Another influencer with a podcast. And she's also doing her tour. On the canceled podcast tour, it seems like there's a segment where the audience can ask Tana questions. And she was asked the question, who was the smallest man that she's ever slept with? Because she was asked that question, Tana exposes that not only did she sleep with Cody Ko when she was underage, but that also the tiny meat gang is an extremely accurate phrase for his situation.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with? Oh my god, do no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What? Sorry. Delete the video.
This may be the Napoleon complex of why he felt like he needed to do all that in life. He needed to be in the Olympics, be a software developer, travel the world, go be in Hollywood, be an actor, be a star, be famous. He was clearly compensating for something. But that aside, because Tana Mongeau was underage at the time, and Cody Ko was 25, much older than her, it becomes clear the power imbalance and those power dynamics that were at play. That incident happened at the very beginning of Cody Ko's YouTube career. Tana was also just starting out as well. I mean, she was 17 years old. She was just starting out. She was a literal child. And then this entire time that Cody Ko began building his career, his social media empire, building out this brand of being unproblematic, he knew full well that he had done this, that he had slept with an underage girl. And yet simultaneously, Tana Mongeau was building out her career, becoming just as famous and successful as Cody Ko. So he probably knew full well that she could fuck up his entire life by exposing this information to light. And yet for years, she kept silent about it. And also, he kept silent about it. Many people have said that the discourse around why Tana kept silent is the fear that she wouldn't be believed. And that did happen initially. Again, because Cody had claimed this unproblematic persona and Tana was more known for being problematic. When she first came out with this information, many people denied her story, or even worse, tried to justify Cody's actions.
However, I understand that this isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Yeah.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25. Yeah, it happened.
And I think that right there fully encompasses why so many people stay silent and don't speak out, or they listen to that sort of noise and then justify it to themselves. I mean, for example, when Tana first said this story on the canceled tour, many people didn't talk about it online and in public discourse until D'Angelo Wallace made a public video kind of saying, this is fucked up, which further brought the situation into the public light and awareness.
I'm just so disappointed either way. That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Online discourse spread, with many people agreeing that overall this was a blatantly illegal line. That is a fact and cannot be debated. The most shocking thing of all is Cody Ko didn't try and come out and deny that this happened. Didn't even try that, which is very telling. He instead stayed completely silent, which spoke enough. His silence was very loud. Instead, Cody just continued to DJ at sets and played Sorry by Justin Bieber. While the internet raged against him and the falsehoods for years that he portrayed online, I think what shocked people the most was the absolute deafening silence. On top of that, after this controversy, it came out that Cody Ko had a known rapist at his wedding, one of his fraternity brothers at Duke. So he has been supporting this behavior for years. This is who Cody Ko has always been, behind the scenes, after the camera turns off. I think a lot of people were shocked and heartbroken by that. They at least wanted an explanation, because they built a parasocial relationship of some sort of understanding of who they thought Cody was. It was almost like they were breaking up with that relationship and they wanted closure, and he didn't give that. He didn't give any closure. But here's the thing, Cody Ko didn't need to. That's the hardest part about all of this. Cody Ko already set up the power structure in place. He invested in numerous companies that he has part ownership of, whether it's investments or ownership in the TMG podcast network. He is making uber monies. Because of that, he never needed to respond or do anything because he has the power and money already. So even if the internet demanding accountability affected his YouTube views, it didn't affect his money or his bottom line. So he didn't feel the need to respond. Even if his YouTube money and views dropped, he had so many other resources at that point. Does it not bother anyone else that Cody will continue making money off the company? Yeah, it's disappointing he didn't say anything. He just fell off the face of the earth, minus the effing DJ set. But Cody is still going to sit back at home and continue to make money from TMG. He's still part of the company, just not the face anymore. Listen, I like Noel as much as everyone else, but I don't like thinking after all of this, Cody continues to reap rewards. Cody stopped appearing on the TMG podcast, but he still owns the company. Since the controversy, Noel Miller makes content on the TMG podcast alone. Ever since he returned to the TMG podcast after the controversy and made a vague statement, kind of saying he can't speak on it.
And understandably, a lot of you want to know what I have to say about everything that's happened. And the reality there is that I'm not in a position to speak about the situation.
And then, months later, after the buzz died down, Cody Ko came back to making content, also making a vague statement, kind of saying that he's not going to speak on it.
Obviously, I understand I've been offline for months, haven't made videos for, that whole time. And I also understand if your opinion of me has potentially changed over the last few months. I spent the first half of my career criticizing people and judging people online. So, I don't begrudge your judgment of me by any means. I just think all I can do right now and moving forward is just try to be the best person I can be for myself and for my family, and just try to continue putting the best shit out there that I can.
Again, the lack of speaking is pretty deafening. There wasn't even an attempt to try and refute the statements or evidence. But Cody Ko has come back to making content, and yeah, people still watch it. He's doing just fine. He's making money off his companies, his investments, and he's still making money off of his views and his content. And I guess do with that what you will. The same as you are what you eat, you are what you consume. Cody Ko is odiously cringe. He's consumed so much of the very content that he's became everything that he's mocked over time.